Continuing from the previous chapter, Ma Ku, a 4-star Do-D, dissatisfied with Xiao Yan, a mere 3-star Do-D, for ranking higher than him in the recent tests, challenged Xiao Yin to a duel. To everyone's shock, Xiao Yan almost defeated Ma Ku in a single move. How is this possible? The crowd gasped in disbelief. After his attack, Xiao Yin calmly retracted his hand and stood in the center of the square, his expression serene. You! One of Ma Ku's followers shouted angrily. The onlookers around Ma Ku began to disperse like monkeys fleeing a fallen tree. After all, seeing Ma Ku so gravely injured, they weren't eager to stick around. Relax, he's not dead yet, Xiao Yan remarked casually, scanning the crowd with a faint smile. A heavy silence fell over the square as everyone realized they had underestimated this new king. No one expected the newcomer to be so ruthless in his methods. The crowd shifted their gaze between the severely injured Ma Ku, who lay on the brink of death, and the new king, who stood there smiling as if nothing had happened. It was clear to everyone now. This new king was not to be trifled with. Ma Ku's defeat served as a final warning. A clear message. To kill a chicken to scare the monkeys. Heh, this boy's soul power is astonishingly formidable. An elder murmured slowly. From the moment Xiao Yin made his move to the moment it ended, it took no more than a few breaths. The onlookers were still processing what had just happened when Ma Ku, who had dared to challenge the new king, collapsed, coughing up blood and fainting. What was supposed to be an evenly matched duel had turned into a one-sided slaughter. Even those with weaker abilities could tell that if Xiao Yin hadn't held back, Ma Ku would have only one fate, death on the spot. Despite his arrogance, Ma Ku was still a legitimate early-stage 4-star Do-D, while Xiao Yin seemed to be merely at the peak of 3-star Do-D. Yet, within a few short breaths, Xiao Yin had taken Ma Ku down in a single move. Those who had shared Ma Ku's disdainful thoughts were secretly relieved, thankful they hadn't stepped up earlier. Otherwise, their fate might have been no different from Ma Ku's. Now everyone understood. Despite appearing weak, the new king, even at the peak of 3-star Do-D, was not someone to provoke. This seemingly simple battle left the deepest impression on the 6 other newcomers, all with 5th-tier talents. How could this be? Zhu Zhuxing couldn't conceal her shock, lightly covering her lips with her jade-like hand to stifle her gasp. This new king is quite something. Wanxia muttered to herself, her whip radiating a battle-thirsty aura. Don't worry, there will come a day when we will challenge him, Wanxia reassured, stroking her whip, which seemed almost alive as it calmed down. Although this new king is only at the peak of 3-star Do-D, his actual combat strength is terrifyingly strong. Songcheng spoke slowly. By Songcheng's estimation, even with his mid-stage 4-star Do-D strength, it would take him at least 10 moves to defeat someone like Ma Ku. Yet Xiao Yin, with just the peak of 3-star Do-D strength, had defeated Ma Ku in one strike. To say he defeated him would be an understatement. It was practically a one-hit kill. Their battle had ended almost as soon as it began, so fast that it was over before anyone realized it had started. From start to finish, all they saw was Ma Ku enveloping himself with his Do-Chi and then Xiao Yan's attack. Within a few breaths, the victor was decided. Xiao Yin was unscathed, but Ma Ku was left in a sorry state, suffering burns of varying degrees all over his body. An unmistakable palm imprint marred his chest, with blood trickling from the corners of his mouth. Severely injured, unconscious, and utterly defeated. There was no doubt in anyone's mind that if Xiao Yin hadn't held back, Ma Ku would likely have perished on the spot. Brother Eaton, if you were to compare yourself to Xiao Yin, Songcheng addressed Eaton. That's hard to say. You know, it's difficult to judge much from just one strike. But Eaton hesitated, his tone trailing off. Noticing this, Songcheng nodded before eagerly asking, "But what?" This Xiao Yin is incredibly strong. His soul power is stronger than anyone else here. Eaton's eyes gleamed with an untamed spirit, locking onto Xiao Yin as he spoke each word deliberately. How could this be? Eaton, your soul power is at the Imperial realm level. If someone has stronger soul power than you, Li Xian chimed in, knowing full well Eaton's capabilities. Though both of them were mid-stage 4-star Do D, Eaton's soul power had tested near the 9th level. Among the 6 of them, if one were to rank their strength, Eaton would undoubtedly be in the top 3. Strength is strength. If you're dissatisfied, there's nothing else to do but train harder and defeat him in the future, Eaton said confidently. Hearing this, Song Chung smiled in approval. True to the rumors, Eaton indeed respected those who were stronger than him. Xiao Yan also smiled in agreement, but didn't add anything more. It seems the title of new king is well-deserved now, someone remarked. Next, we just have to wait for the selection tournament to begin, Lu Oming added. As the square fell into silence, Xiao Yan calmly walked back to stand beside Yuru and Mu Feng. Yuru, seeing Xiao Yan's return, didn't say a word but instinctively moved a little closer to him. Mu Feng, however, had a different reaction. Who would have thought that you, of all people, would end up being the new king this time? Aren't you also hiding your true strength? Xiao Yan chuckled in response, and Mu Feng smiled back. Although Xiao Yan's earlier demeanor seemed arrogant, he spoke of defeating his opponent in a single move because he had absolute confidence. The recent battle, which appeared simple, was actually far from it. After all, Ma Ku was a 4-star Do D, even if only at the early stage. His initial strategy was sound. He activated his Do Qi, forming a protective shield around his body to greatly diminish Xiao Yan's attack, giving himself a chance to withstand the blow. However, what he didn't anticipate was that Xiao Yan's attack seemed to penetrate his Do Qi shield, landing a vicious blow directly on Ma Ku's body. Even among the Do D experts, not everyone possessed the formidable soul power and physical strength that Xiao Yan did. Most Do D experts' physical strength was comparable to that of the Do Huang rank on the Do Qi continent, and their soul power was often at the heavenly realm or even lower. Unfortunately for Ma Ku, he was one of those less fortunate ones. At the moment of Xiao Yan's attack, a surge of immense soul power erupted from his soul sea and then quickly settled down. A netherworld heavenly wrath was unleashed, targeting Ma Ku's head. This soul attack proved to be the most lethal. Ma Ku's small, heavenly realm-level soul sea was struck by Xiao Yan's assault, causing his eyes to glaze over instantly. His Do Qi ceased to flow, and without his control, the protective shield around his body wandered aimlessly, unable to block Xiao Yan's attack. In that moment, Xiao Yan's Do Qi-covered palm struck heavily on Ma Ku's body. The terrifying flames mixed with intense heat caused varying degrees of burns on Ma Ku's body. Xiao Yan's palm strike was just that, a heavy blow without any Do technique. He was cautious, aware that Ma Ku, despite being a 4-star Do D, was also an arrogant noble. If he accidentally killed him. So, throughout the fight, Xiao Yin used only one move, the Netherworld Heavenly Wrath. Moreover, if Xiao Yin hadn't withdrawn most of his strength when his palm landed on Ma Ku's condition would have been far worse. Next, I will now announce the rules for this selection tournament. The elder on the high platform spoke again. This selection tournament will use a point system. I believe each of you has already received your tokens. Each token has a number on it, representing your initial score. The winner of this selection tournament will be the one with the highest score at the end, the elder explained slowly. As the elder finished speaking, everyone in the square began to take out the tokens they had received. Looking closely, each token bore varying degrees of silver markings. A single silver stripe indicated a first-tier talent newcomer with a small number, 10, inscribed on the token. This meant that those evaluated as first-tier talents started with 10 points. Second-tier talent newcomers had 2 silver stripes on their tokens, with a score of 20 points. Third-tier talent newcomers had 3 silver stripes on their tokens, showing a score of 40 points. Fourth-tier talent newcomers had 4 silver stripes, with a score of 80 points. Fifth-tier talent newcomers had 5 silver stripes, and their tokens displayed a score of 160 points. Xiao Yin glanced at his own bronze-colored token and was surprised to see a score of 200. This, Yuru, Xiao Yin, and Mu Feng exchanged glances, clearly noticing that their numbers seemed off. Are yours wrong too? Mu Feng asked. Sure. Xiao Yan motioned for them to keep quiet. It was evident that the extra points were due to their top 3 ranking. and he wanted to avoid any unnecessary attention. The location for this selection tournament will be the Forest of Yin Corpses, the elder continued. The forest has 3 levels. The first level is mostly filled with relatively simple monsters and spirits. The second level contains some stronger entities. As for the third level, I advise you not to venture there. What lies within is quite terrifying. The Forest of Yin Corpses? It's said that this forest is a remnant of the great battle between the mystic 3 heavens and the ghost realm, Mu Feng explained. The whole place is shrouded in eerie winds, with demons and ghosts emerging constantly, which is how it got its name. Oh, Xiao Yan responded softly, thinking that if this was indeed a site left from the battle between the ghost realm and the mystic 3 heavens, there might be some valuable treasures hidden there. The Forest of Yin Corpses is home to countless powerful magical beasts. It is one of the 9 major gathering places for demons and ghosts within the mystic 3 heavens, ranking 8th. The forest is extremely mysterious. Besides the demons and ghosts, it also hides countless secrets and opportunities. This time, when you go there, you will be separated into teams of 3, participating in a month-long selection tournament. I hope that through this selection, all of you will make significant progress and gain the opportunity to join one of the many sects within the mystic 3 heavens to learn more advanced Do techniques and skills. However, this selection also comes with considerable danger, so you must be cautious. I wish you all a victorious return, the elder continued. In this selection tournament, you can earn points by defeating magical beasts or collecting medicinal herbs. In addition, there's another way to gain points, and that is through combat among yourselves. However, without sufficient strength, this would be a foolish endeavor, the elder warned. Hearing this, the people in the square began to gear up, ready for action. If they could directly steal points, it would indeed be the quickest shortcut to increasing their power and score. If you encounter a life-threatening situation, you can crush this token to be transported back. However, once the token is crushed, it also means you have forfeited your qualification for the selection, the elder explained. Everyone in the square understood the gravity of this situation. Thus, no one would dare crush their token unless death was imminent. After all, this token was their last chance to join a super sect. This selection will include participants from all bases. So besides yourselves, this will be a massive battle involving tens of thousands of participants. Out of these thousands, only the top 100 in points will qualify to join the 9 super sections. Additionally, those who have shown outstanding opportunities or exceptional abilities may also catch the eye of certain sect elders and be recruited. Moreover, the top 10 rewards this time are exceptional. Not only will you have the freedom to choose any sect within the mystic 3 heavens to join, but you will also receive a Do-D pill, crafted by the Pill Valley Master, the elder lazily announced from the high platform. A Do-D pill. The crowd erupted in excitement. The Do-D pill was no ordinary item. Legend has it that a mighty figure, after countless hardships and numerous failures, finally devised the recipe for this pill. The most remarkable effect of the Do-D pill is that it can raise the user's strength by an entire level. Although each person can only take 1 pill in their lifetime, since a second dose would result in resistance, rendering it ineffective, this limitation does not diminish the pill's power. After all, it enhances an entire level. Aside from today's feat where the new king, Xiao Yan, with his peak 3-star Do-D strength, managed to instantly defeat an early-stage 4-star Do-D, everyone knew that if it weren't for the sheer abnormality of Xiao Yan's abilities, the gap between their levels would have been insurmountably vast. An apparent difference of just 1 level could, for most, require decades to overcome unless one possessed extraordinary talent. This alone highlights how difficult it is for a Do-D expert to advance. A Do-D pill, huh? This is classified as an Imperial grade 2nd-tier pill. Even with my current skills, I wouldn't be able to refine it, Xiao Yan remarked with a self-deprecating smile. And I don't even have the recipe for it. However, Xiao Yan was not discouraged. He understood that a pharmacist's advancement was closely tied to their soul power, and his own soul power had recently increased several times, reaching a saturation point. It wouldn't improve again in the short term. As the square erupted into a fervent discussion, The allure of the Do-D pill clearly caused a stir. Additionally, the first-place winner in this selection tournament, regardless of which sect they join, will have the chance to immerse themselves in the Imperial pool of the Xianling royal family. The elder announced, smiling as he observed the newcomers. It is said that the reason the Xianling royal family can dominate the mystic three heavens is due to this Imperial pool. The pool is quite mysterious and, protected by the Xianling royal family, remains largely unknown. However, one thing is certain. The pool possesses some miraculous properties, rumored to enhance a cultivator's training speed, the elder explained. But whether that's true or not remains to be seen, Mu Feng commented. The Imperial pool, huh? It certainly brings back memories. The first time I met Yin Yu was in that very pool. I wonder where he will be resting this time. Xiao Yan heard the voice of his master, the Golden Dragon King, slowly echoing from within. Xiao Yan was taken aback. Ever since arriving at the outskirts of the mystic three heavens, his master, the Golden Dragon King, had seldom communicated with him. After all, in such a place filled with hidden powers, if his presence were discovered. Xiao Yan understood all too well the saying, a man without a crime becomes guilty by possessing a valuable item. Yin Yu, is it? Xiao Yan's eyes flared with intensity. Without a doubt, that must be the name of the sacred flame. I must secure the first place. No matter who stands in my way. Xiao Yan resolved silently. All right, now that everything's clear, let's disperse. In 3 days, we will reconvene here at the square. The points-based selection tournament will officially begin. After finishing his words, the elder vanished. The crowd in the square, their hearts ablaze with excitement, listened to the elder's lingering words, then each headed towards their own residences. 3 days. Just 3 days until the selection tournament begins. Let's go. There's nothing left here worth staying for, Huanxia said, standing up and disappearing from the square without waiting for anyone else. In that case, let's leave as well, Song Chung suggested, and the others around him nodded in agreement. As people around them gradually formed teams, Mu Feng's enthusiasm showed. Xiao Yin, the elder mentioned forming teams of 3. How about we 3 team up? What do you say? Having the top 3 ranked together as a team would certainly be formidable, Mu Feng said with a smile. Yu Ru seemed ready to say something, but seeing Xiao Yan's expression, she held back. Sure, Xiao Yan agreed with a smile. Mu Feng's ability to rank in the top 3 was undoubtedly due to his exceptional skills, and given that they were heading to the Forest of Yin Corpses, which would be teeming with demons and ghosts, Mu Feng's mastery of the Yin Yang 8 trigrams art could prove invaluable. Great, it's settled then. But let me tell you, in terms of strength, even though I'm only at the early stage of 4-star Do-D, when it comes to dealing with specters, I'm definitely number 1. Mu Feng boasted with a hearty laugh, exuding supreme confidence. The Do-D continent is vast, divided into 4 main regions, each with its unique and peculiar cultivation methods. However, without exception, Do-Chi is the mainstay of the continent. As for the techniques I practice, they might be considered unconventional, but they prove exceptionally effective against certain foes, Mu Feng continued, noticing Xiao Yan's furrowed brow, as if pondering something, and quickly clarified. Ha ha ha. Xiao Yan laughed in response. He had been contemplating the situation in the Forest of Yin Corpses, not intentionally targeting Mu Feng. Clearly, Mu Feng had misunderstood. Let's go back. 3 days will pass quickly, Xiao Yan suggested. With that, the 3 of them, chatting and laughing, headed towards their accommodations. In the depths of Red Mountain, a conspiracy was slowly brewing. In a quiet room, Hong Yi sat, sipping tea. Report, Sect Master, came a voice from outside the room. Enter, Hong Yi replied calmly. The wooden door creaked open, and a figure cloaked in black appeared in the doorway. Sect Master, they have announced the schedule for the selection tournament as planned. It is set to begin in 3 days, the cloaked figure said respectfully, bowing low. Oh? They didn't cancel the selection tournament after all. What are these people thinking? I understand. You may leave, Hong Yi responded. This selection tournament has seen the disappearance of hundreds of participants, which should have caused enough of a stir to cancel it. Why would Wu Jang proceed with it? Could it be? As Hong Yi spoke, Her previously indifferent eyes became sharp and clear. She left the wooden hut, heading in an unknown direction. In a dark passageway, two figures were moving slowly. "Where are we?" Hu Du asked in a low voice. Shua. This should be the place where those newcomers disappeared, but something feels off. Wu Jang whispered cautiously. "Watch out." Hu Du hissed and then fiercely clawed behind Wu Jang. A black shadow under Hu Du's claw dissolved into a vapor, evaporating instantly. Wu Jang had sensed something was wrong the moment Hu Du shouted. Trusting Hu Du, he remained still and did not react impulsively. "The ghosts here are different from before," Wu Jang said after their narrow escape. Since Wu Jang discovered this passage through a secret technique, he and Hu Du had felt an overwhelming presence of ghostly energy as soon as they entered. With their experience, they were familiar with dealing with such entities and recognized the typical characteristics of ghosts: creepy, eerie auras that emitted ghostly energy. Yet, the ghosts in this passage, though mostly of moderate strength, could easily go unnoticed by even seasoned fighters like Wu Jang and Hu Du. "What are these ghosts up to now?" Wu Jang muttered to himself. "Let's move." The two advanced cautiously, heading deeper into the passage. The labyrinth-like passage was a maze of tunnels, and one wrong turn could easily lead to getting lost. Thankfully, with Wu Jang's guidance, they managed to navigate it. Along the way, they encountered some powerful ghosts, but with their combined strength, they were able to deal with them easily. As they ventured deeper, they eventually reached the center of the passage. Before them appeared a stone chamber. The two concealed their presence and carefully made their way across the stone chamber. Suddenly, a chilling pool came into view. Upon closer inspection, there were two eerie presences near the pool, a phantom spring ghost spirit and a malevolent ghost spirit. One of the ghosts was continuously absorbing the dark energy from the pool, and their power was far beyond what Xiao Yan and his group had encountered, clearly reaching a level comparable to a human 5-star Do D. "Damn it, they're ghost spirits." Hu Du cursed under his breath. He knew very well that dealing with ghost spirits was particularly troublesome. "Sure." Wu Jang motioned for silence again. Being a 6-star Do D, Wu Jang wasn't afraid of the two ghost spirits, but he could sense a powerful presence emanating from within the cold pool. "Heh, Phantom Spring. I told you our master wouldn't shortchange you. The increase in your strength is just a small reward from our master for your sacrifice of 96 humans." The malevolent ghost spirit chuckled. "Humph." Phantom Spring snorted coldly, ignoring the malevolent ghost spirit's words. His mind was preoccupied with whether the four who escaped might disrupt their plans. Moreover, it would take the sacrifice of 100 humans to break the seal. With only 96 sacrificed, it might still be difficult for the master within the pool to break free from the seal. Damn beasts. Wu Jang and Hu Du exchanged glances. Ever since they had entered the stone chamber, they had sensed something was amiss. There were faint traces of human presence inside the chamber, but the most concentrated aura was emanating from within the cold pool. Within the cold pool, the liquid was a deep crimson, resembling fresh human blood, with wisps of black gas continuously rising from it. These wisps were being absorbed into the belly of the phantom spring ghost spirit. Both Wu Jang and Hu Du could feel the ghost spirit's aura steadily growing stronger. "Damn these beasts, so many lives lost," Hu Du lamented in anguish. "To think things have escalated to such a serious level. This needs to be reconsidered. Let's get out of here," Wu Jang said, grabbing Hu Du as they fled. "Since you're here, you might as well stay." A chilling voice echoed through the stone chamber from within the cold pool. "A 6-star Do D and a 5-star Do D. What are you doing?" Hong Yi appeared by the cold pool and saw Hu Du and Wu Jiang lying unconscious. She knew well of Wu Jiang's strength. In a one-on-one fight, she wouldn't stand a chance against him. After all, Wu Jiang was rumored to be an outstanding disciple of the Incense Pavilion. It was shocking to see him so easily subdued by these beings. She felt a surge of panic. They already know about this place, so once the selection tournament begins, our efforts will not have been in vain. "You know what to do, right?" Phantom Spring spoke, not expecting a powerful 6-star Do-D to be subdued so easily. The master within the pool had merely made a few simple moves to capture them. It seemed that humans were not so difficult to handle after all. Understood. Although Hong Yu was a woman, she was not one to be soft-hearted. She agreed, forming a plan in her mind. Even though she feared these creatures from the ghost realm, she was bound to them by a pact. Besides, Hong Yi cared little for other lives or innocent bloodshed. As long as she could bring her lover back to life, nothing else mattered to her. With a plan in mind, Hong Yi quickly left the cold pool, heading towards Wu Jang's former residence. Meanwhile, Wu Jang and Hu Du, unconscious, slightly furrowed their brows as if they were trying to communicate something to each other before falling back into unconsciousness. 3 days passed quickly. On this day, as usual, thousands had already gathered early at the square, eager and restless. In a room near the square. What? Wu Jang is missing? The elder who had previously announced the selection tournament, Elder Mu Jing, was furious. Elder Mu Jing, like Wu Jang, was a 6-star Do-D. Wu Jang was the chief in charge, while Mu Jing was more of a supervisor. Elder Mu, we've searched everywhere, but we couldn't find Chief Wu Jiang. Shenyu said, distressed. How could Wu Jiang, who was fully responsible for their base's affairs, suddenly disappear? Without Wu Jiang, they couldn't recklessly start the points-based selection tournament. Considering the recent spate of disappearances, and now with Wu Jiang also missing, this problem had grown far too serious. If that's the case, it seems we'll have to postpone the selection tournament, Mu Jing said. Knock, knock. The door was knocked on, and Shenyu slowly opened it, still feeling frustrated. Chief Wu, Shenyu exclaimed in surprise. What's going on? Isn't today the day the selection tournament is supposed to start? Wu Jiang asked. Where have you been? Mu Jing asked. I went out to investigate the disappearances but found no results, Wu Jiang explained. Forget it. This matter can't be rushed. For now, let's focus on taking these newcomers to the selection site, Mu Jing said, stepping out, with Wu Jiang closely following. The square was bustling, filled with groups of 3. The appearance of Mu Jing and Wu Jiang further energized the already enthusiastic crowd. Xiao Yan's pupils narrowed. For some reason, Wu Jiang's aura seemed a bit strange. All right, everyone, quiet down. We will now lead you to the selection tournament's location, the Forest of Yin Corpses, Elder Mu Jing announced. With a wave of his hands, a massive passageway appeared in the center of the square. A spatial teleportation array. Anyone with a discerning eye recognized the grandeur of such a setup instantly. This was a long-distance teleportation array, incredibly expensive to use. Only the super sects of the mystic 3 heavens possessed such means. Even the 7 great cities didn't have access to it. 5th-tier talent newcomers will go first, followed by the 4th tier, and so on, Elder Mu Jing instructed. Let's go, Xiao Yan said to his teammates. Go. Yuru and Mu Feng echoed softly. In that case, we shouldn't fall behind. He Wanxia and her group of 6 appeared, heading towards the spatial teleportation array. As the 9 5th-tier talent newcomers stepped into the array, Mu Jing's Do Qi surged, and a white light appeared under the 9 of them. In just an instant, the scene before them changed rapidly. These are the 5th-tier talent newcomers from Red Mountain, huh? They seem quite promising, a middle-aged man said with a smile, approaching the group of 9. And who might you be? Xiao Yan asked first, seeing the others exchanging confused glances. Don't worry, I'm the one responsible for your selection tournament in the Forest of Yin Corpses. My name is Yu, the middle-aged man explained with a friendly smile. Greetings, senior brother. The group quickly greeted him, acknowledging his seniority. Come, I'll lead you to the entrance of the Forest of Yin Corpses. It's just a little ahead, Yu said. Thank you, senior brother. The group responded. After a short walk, Yu spoke. Up ahead is the Forest of Yin Corpses. You may enter now. The perimeter of the forest is sealed with the Yin-Yang demon sealing array, so forced entry is impossible. You must enter through the forest entrance. With that, he descended slowly, leading them to the entrance of the Forest of Yin Corpses. With a gentle tap of his palm, a white light appeared, forming a glowing portal before them. Xiao Yan and Mu Feng both landed beside Qianyu, quietly observing the forest entrance. The journey from the Red Mountain Square through the teleportation array had only taken a few breaths, yet here they were at the entry point to the Forest of Yin Corpses. Even though they hadn't entered the forest yet, the eerie winds and sinister aura around them felt particularly heavy. Beside them, Zhu Zhuxing's brows furrowed slightly. It was clear this was her first time in such a place, and she couldn't help but feel a little scared. Wanxia, on the other hand, looked excited, her expression revealing her battle-hungry nature. The other four newcomers displayed varying degrees of determination, showing no signs of fear. Hehe, there's no need to worry. The Forest of Yin Corpses is indeed fearsome, but the tokens you have can save you in a crisis. Just crush them when you're in danger, Qianyu reassured them calmly. Once you enter, there are two paths in the first layer of the Forest of Yin Corpses, one to the left and one to the right. Your three teams can choose any path. Shortly after, you'll encounter more forks. At that point, each team should choose a different path and proceed. What you might encounter, or what you'll do to increase your points will depend on your own luck and strength. Moreover, this time, the selection in the Forest of Yin Corpses involves all bases, with tens of thousands of participants. But I can tell you one thing. There are 3 layers in total, and each layer contains formidable entities. Each layer is filled with different kinds of demon spirits and ghosts. Over the course of a month, the points you accumulate will determine your final ranking. And one crucial thing to remember. If you encounter the most powerful entity here, the Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf, don't hesitate. Crush your token immediately, or you might not even have a chance to survive. Qianyu warned solemnly. But you don't need to be overly worried. The Silver Moon Heavenly Wolf resides deep in the 3rd layer, so as long as you avoid going there, you should be safe. Qianyu added reassuringly. Let the points plundering tournament begin, Xiao Yan murmured, and the 3 of them swiftly entered the white entrance to the Forest of Yin Corpses.